I had checked out the venue where we were scheduled to play. I had checked out their website, and it looked like a nice little venue that was looked after by its management. But I decided that I have to go see this place in person because I've never done this before and I don't know what to expect, and I want to be prepared. So I decided to go, and I was extra excited about the fact that it was located on Rivington Street because several months ago I had made a point to go look for this street in New York because Lady Gaga had sung about it in one of her songs. So here I am, several months later, I have a gig scheduled on Rivington Street. So I walk and I walk and I walk on the street, and it is getting seedier and seedier. I don't remember getting to these areas before on my trip several months earlier. And I arrive at my destination at the address where, this lounge is located on. And I'm looking around and I'm like, where is this place? All I can see are these trash bags, and there were a couple of hip hop guys, I guess, promoting their show. And then there is the door of the entrance to the bar, but it's locked. So the place hadn't opened yet. So I knock on the door. And somebody opens, and tell them that we're scheduled to play there in a few days, and I want to see the place. And I walk in, and it's nothing like what it looked like on the pictures on the website. It is dark. It just feels very cold and lonely, and on the pictures it was very bright and it just felt very warm. And I asked the guy who's setting up the chairs, setting the place to open, and I asked him, so where is the stage? And he looked towards one of the corners and said, right over there. We move those tables and those seats, and that's where the musicians play. So, it took me a little while to process that information. And I walk out of there. I am very glad that I went to see this place in advance, because now I will not be mentally brought down on the day of the show when I see what I have to deal with. My expectations are adjusted, and I know what's going on. You have to ask yourself, and we did, the question of, do I want to play in a venue like this? But the name of the lounge was Recoup Lounge, and I thought that was a sign, because I'm a very big believer in things like recouping. So we talked it over, we knew the songs, and we were gonna do it. On the day of the show, we do our rehearsal and run of the show, warm up, everything on the street, on a, quiet little corner. And it was really cool that we were doing that. I felt like actually really good. And we go in the venue, and there were people getting together. You had to, it was a ticketed event. It costs $10, and you had to bring in a minimum of 6 people. It was a 20-minute set, and there were several acts. The lineup was being decided on the day of the show. And there was a hip hop act scheduled to play afterwards. Not afterwards, because there was no lineup, but it was decided we're gonna go first. And so accordingly, there was a large, not large because I don't know how many people there were, maybe 15, 20 people. there were a lot of African American people there because it's hip hop, so they were there to support their artist, and people were, I should say, nice. There was a girl there who was promoting her show, and she came up to us and she talked to us for a little bit, gave us one of her postcards. And meanwhile, our people are starting to come in, and who know what they were expecting, but they showed up. So it's time for the music to start, and there was a drum set. I can't even remember. It was, the corner was so small and our operation was so even smaller. It was just me and a guitar player. So what we did was, when we were introducing ourselves, I basically said hi. We were supposed to. We've been playing together for 3 months, and this is the first time that we're gonna play in front of a live audience. The songs we've been working on, and tonight we were supposed to be joined by a drummer and a bass guitar player, and they didn't show up. So we were debating for a long time whether to cancel or play tonight, and we decided that we're gonna play. At which point the audience they started booing, in support of us. They were booing the decision of the other players not to show up, and they were clapping so enthusiastically to show their appreciation for us being there. So we start our first song, and they started clapping in the rhythm of the song, keeping the rhythm for the drums, and that was really quite incredible. And they went on like this, depending on the song and what it required, pretty much throughout the show, and they were very supportive and very engaged, and that was extremely valuable for me to see and learn. Telling the truth is so powerful. It's probably the most powerful thing you can do, not just for your audience and your fans, but probably in life. And people really appreciate that.